Hi there, this is Anne, or Anne as they say in Dutch, and I'm here with day 18 of my Advent Calendar project. I have two houses today. This one holds a chocolate. I'm gonna put this aside for the end of the video, and this one holds the tip tool or inside. I can tell that I broke the house earlier, so I'm gonna be very careful when opening the house. That went pretty smooth. So let's take out the paper and see what the paper says today. And the paper says, not everyone will like or understand the changes or choices you make or the goals you pursue. And this is something very important to remind ourselves of all year long, but especially now as we are nearing the end of the year and we're almost at the start of the new year. And that is typically a time when we set new goals for ourselves or where we set out to make changes or do things in a different way. Now, actually, it is pretty normal for people around us and the people close to us to not like or understand or support or approve of the choices that we are making or the goals that we want to pursue. It's pretty logical and normal because we've always been doing things in a certain way, and so people have come to expect us to behave like that. Or people have a specific vision for us or expectations for us of what our future should look like. And then all of a sudden we're making choices and pursuing goals that are different from the image that they have or the vision or expectations that they have of us. Or it's out of character with the things that we've always been doing. And so that difference in expectations and visions, on the one hand, the goals and changes that we are pursuing, and on the other hand, the image that they have of us or the expectations, the visions that they have for us, they are different. And so it's pretty logical and normal that that is a discombobulating experience, and they will be not understanding or not liking or pushing back on the changes that we are making. Not with necessarily ill intentions, but simply because it's different and it's not what they expected. We're doing something unexpected. Another thing might be that we are pursuing things and making changes, and the people around us might secretly be wanting to making changes as well, similar changes or changes in general, but maybe they are lacking the courage to do so. And what happens there is that they might be criticizing us because we are doing something that they are secretly wanting to do as well. And so this is kind of confrontational and confronting them with like, oh, they are doing that and I'm not doing that. It's confronting them with their fears or their lack of self-confidence or courage to pursue something themselves. And so rather than doing that, pursuing it themselves, they start pushing back. And both are scenarios that I've seen play out, both in my life and with the people that I'm working with. There might be people who are jealous and from that perspective criticize, not like, or push back against the goals that we are pursuing or the changes that we are making. And on the other hand, there's people who simply genuinely do not understand and think that we're making the wrong choice. They have a vision for us in mind or expectations for us in mind. And they are genuinely afraid that we are making the wrong choice. And that's why they're not understanding or pushing back or not liking or disapproving. So that's something that you can remind yourself of, that when you are making your own choices and pursuing your own goals, when they are not what you used to do and they are quote unquote out of character, not really out of character, but simply different from what you used to do. And it brings you more in character with yourself, more aligned with yourself. So it's out of character, quote unquote. But when you're doing these quote unquote out of character things, it's normal for people not to understand, like, or approve. And then the second thing that is important to remember is that we can make these changes and pursue those goals without having the support of the people around us, even the people close to us. Sometimes they support us, they might not understand, but they like whatever we are doing. Sometimes they might not understand, but then they're pushing back because they're afraid that we're making the wrong choice, for example, or sometimes they're pushing back because we confront them with the possibility that they have to make a change as well, but they are not having the courage to take or not the possibility to take, or they are not in the circumstances to make a similar change. And so all of this is going on. And so we can remind ourselves that this is what's going on, and that we also do not need their support for us in order to for us to make the change. We can make the change without their understanding or their approval or their validation. And both are important to remember. On the one hand, putting in perspective the pushback that we are getting or the lack of understanding that we are getting, putting it in perspective not as a sign that we are making the wrong choice and that we should be changing back to who we were and not pursue the goal, but simply as the consequence of two different visions or two different expectations being at play. You have your own vision, what's meaningful to you, what matters to you, and they have their own. And that's all that is at play. And so that's important to remind yourself of. It's not a stop sign telling you that you are doing the wrong thing. It's just like two different expectations or visions that are being at play, and the pushback or the not understanding or the not approving is just a consequence of that difference. And then the second piece to remind yourself of is that you do not need their understanding and that you do not need their approval before you being able to do your thing. You can pursue your thing. And I've had this happen to me in my life lots and lots and lots of times, because I went through some big changes and lots of small changes as well. And I made some career choices, and the people close to me did not understand, were pushing back against it, did not like it, were afraid that I would be doing the wrong thing, for example, and making the wrong choice. So I did not get their approval. And it feels uncomfortable pursuing your own goals. And yet at the same time, it is very powerful to remind yourself that it's just those two different visions and expectations at play, and that it is not a sign that you are doing the wrong thing. So that is something that I reminded myself of often, like, hey, we just got two different visions and I'm pursuing my vision. And by pursuing my vision, I will be able to grow and evolve and pursue what is meaningful to me and fulfilling to me, and do my own thing rather than comply with what other people are expecting me to do or the vision that they have for me. And it is also happening so that's for big changes, but it's also happening for small changes still to this day. I often give the example in one-on-one coaching conversations when this kind of topic comes up. I often give the example of my nails and my nail art. It's something that I like very much. It's something that I've been doing now for a couple of years. And it's something that to this day, when I see my parents every single time, no exceptions, they tell me that they don't like it. They tell me to stop doing this. And now it's become this running joke. But yeah, still every time they're like, yeah, all jokes aside, why are you doing this? This is so ugly. Don't do this. Choose like one color and don't do any nail art. And actually, if you choose one color, choose like a classic red and let that be it. And so still to this day, like my parents, they do not understand, they do not like it, and they're very vocal about it. And at the same time, I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, that's their opinion, their preference, what they like, the expectation that they have for me. And at the same time, I have my own vision and my expectation and the things that I like and the things that are meaningful to me. And so I'm pursuing the things that are meaningful to me. And so every time I'm showing up with different nail arts that then they will be commenting on. And so this is for something small, and it's the big things and the small things, they are both important to really figure out like what is meaningful and fulfilling and important to you, what matters to you, and then start pursuing this without requiring the other people to understand or to validate or to approve. Because if we require everybody around us or the people close to us to approve and to support us and to like it, then we will be holding ourselves back. And instead of living out our own vision for ourselves and what's meaningful to us, we will be falling back to the vision and the opinions of other people. And I'm always a big proponent of pursuing things that are meaningful to us, because at the end of our lives, that is what we will get to look back on, the things that were meaningful to us. And that's something that's super important to me, something that I always keep in mind, a question that I ask myself multiple times a year, like, am I pursuing the things that are meaningful to me? And if the day comes that I'm going to be drawing my final breath, can I look back on a life that was meaningful to me and fulfilling to me and filled with things that were meaningful to me? And it doesn't mean that I have achieved all my goals yet and made all my dreams happen yet, but it means that I identified what was meaningful to me, and that I got into motion to pursue those things. Like with my nail art, for example, that is for sure one thing that I'm gonna be looking back on with a smile on my face. It's a small thing, but very meaningful to me. Another thing is the thing that I'm doing right here, coaching and personal development and psychology and all these things. Also philosophy and musing about things. That's important to me, and that is very present in my life, and it wasn't back in the day, and it's present right now. Something very meaningful to me, it's present right now because I went through all the changes and made all the changes with the people close to me, not liking it, not understanding it, and vocally and actively pushing back against it. And so yeah, that is the mantra that I always keep in mind, and the thing that for me defines happiness and success, the kind of success that I want to pursue. And that success is being able to look back on my life and being content with the things that I pursued and the choices that I made or was in the process of making and pursuing because they were meaningful to me, regardless of what other people might be thinking. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with this one for today. Let's now look at the chocolate and open up this box and do a little taste test. And so as I'm opening the box, I would invite you to jot down this quote in your own words, or this thought in your own words, that you do not need the approval and the validation or understanding of the people close to you before you can pursue the things that are meaningful to you. You can pursue them without getting that approval, support, and validation. And actually, it's pretty normal when you do something that's different from what they have come to expect or the vision that they have for you. It's pretty normal and logical that there would be some pushback and people not understanding you. And it doesn't mean that you are making the wrong choices necessarily. It just means that they had a different vision for you to live your life. All right, so in the meantime, I opened the box and I'm gonna have a look at the chocolate, and wow, it's a very passionate one. It's very fitting with the theme for today of pursuing things that matter to you, that are meaningful to you, that are fulfilling to you. It's a vibrant red one. The color again is very beautiful, and it's a white chocolate. So you can see the white chocolate with this beautiful red color on top. So I'm gonna do a little taste test of this tongue, and again, that's very fitting with the theme for today. I did not know, I did not match the chocolates with the message, the tip tool inside in the box, but still it's very fitting. It's like this very outspoken tongue, and it's like saying, yeah, I'm doing my thing, you can have your opinions and your thoughts, and I'm pursuing my thing. So this is very fitting. So let's do a little taste test. I think there's some alcohol in here. It's pretty sharp. It's a lovely taste. I've got no idea what it is. Let's do some visual check. I'm wondering if it's apricot in there. It would fit with the taste as well, but by now you know that I'm not the most effective taste tester, so I could be wrong, but it's very yummy. If I would do a guess, I would go with apricot in there. And there's not a layer underneath. It's very soft. So there's the sharpness of the apricot and then the softness underneath. I don't know what the softness underneath is. And then there's the white chocolate surrounding it. Really, really yummy. All right. That's it for today. I hope you found this useful and inspiring. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 19 in my event calendar project. See you.